Hi, my name is Jeff and welcome back to my workshop. Today we are going to finish up the DPM stone bakery kit by installing details such as the fire escape. We're going to start by a quick test fit. Anytime you're working with a kit, and particularly an older kit, you want to make sure parts haven't bent or warped in the back, so it's a good idea to test fit it. Once you know that it'll fit in, add a drop of styrene cement to the holes that these mount in. There are 6 of them for this one. One at the handrail, one at the floor, and one each at the supports on each side. Once you have glue in the holes, then just put the piece back into place and hold it there while the glue sets up. Do that for the top floor fire escape and then repeat the process for the second floor fire escape landing. I had actually already test fit that one, and I know that one of the supports is bent, so I'm going to have to kind of finagle it into place and hold it while it dries. We'll get the glue in, the cement, the solvent cement in, and this is a case where using that capillary tube applicator that comes with the Fowler cement is really helpful, because you can really just get that drop right in the hole without marring the surface of the model. With the fire escape landings in, we need to install the ladder. This also mounts into 4 holes that are in the side. You want to make sure you have the ladder facing the right way so that it hangs down below the second floor. And again, apply dotted glue to each of the 4 mounting holes. And then you have to get the ladder into the opening on the ladder. And there is a beam support for the landing that runs along the wall, so you need to get it into there, and then you can glue it into place. That's why you need to put the supports in, the landings in first, or at least the second floor landing. And then just kind of finagle it in, make sure you get it in all 4 spots and it holds. Because of that piece on the landing, it tends to want to curve that ladder, so you got to hold it in place and get it glued in. Once that's installed, we can install the electric meters and the conduit. We'll simply use sprue cutters to remove that from the sprue. I also installed the sign off camera. The lettering is just the same dry transfer that we use for the large billboards on the sides. Also on that sign, I had painted the sign itself a metallic silver color, and then I used some sponge painting to add some rust colors to it. With these parts, you want to make sure you get those nubs at the sprues off and any parting lines that are in there so it looks good. And then again, we can test fit it and glue it in place on the side of the building. Later in the video, we'll come back and add some rust and weathering to it. One of the neat things about this, because there's a junction box at the top where the wires come in, if you're permanently mounting this on a layout, you could run electrical wires to it using an elastic thread that go to a nearby utility pole. This will be on a portable layout, so this building has to be packed up after each train show. so we can't have it where it's permanently attached to the layout. So I'm not going to be doing that on this case, but it could be done in a permanent installation. Last detail on the back is going to be the downspout. This is a curved piece, so you want to make sure it fits, and then glue it in place like we did the electrical conduit and the electrical meters. Last thing I want to add is the kit came with 4 air conditioning units for windows. I installed one on the side, as you saw. What I did was I removed it from the sprue and then sanded off the nub so that the bottom was smooth. Then applied solvent cement to the raised tabs on the back. These will sit against the window, against the glass of the window and the frame to hold it into place. We'll put one in the 2 middle back windows, one on the other side. And the base is a piece of styrene cut to size and then spray painted with Painter's Touch 2X Perfect Gray. And then I sponge paint some crushed stone towards where the door will be, so that when it sits on its base, it kind of looks like a concrete slab in front of the door. The hole in the middle of the base is so that I can run electrical wires down to light the building. There'll be a connector on there, a 2-pin JST plug to connect that in, and the foundation base will be mounted permanently to the layout. For weathering, I'm going to use a number of Pan Pastel colors, including black, 3 different shades of gray, and my 4 rust colors, excuse me. I'm going to start with some light gray, and we're just going to use an applicator sponge that Pan Pastel sells, rub a lot of that off so we can just get a light dusting onto the side of the building and just kind of fade the paint and blend the painted weathering effects together. I'm just going to do that over the entire side of the building. This will also further fade the painting on the signs that are on the building and help them blend together. And the beauty of the Pan Pastels is that it adheres to the matte finish of the painted surfaces, so I don't need to put a seal coat of clear coat over it. You can if you want, particularly if you do this before you install the window glazing, but it's really not necessary. Even when the building gets handled, the Pan Pastels don't come off. I'm also going to use a little bit of dark gray spread thinly around just to add extra streaks where dirt has run down the sides of the building. And then we'll repeat the process on the other sides and on the front. On the front, I'm also going to do the storefront area, and very lightly, particularly on the columns between the windows and doors, I want to just highlight the front of it like it's faded, but the recessed areas of that I want it to stay dark so you help them pop and see them when you're looking at it. In addition, on the back, we're going to use the rust colors to add rust to the fire escape, the electrical conduit, and the downspout. We'll start with a lighter color and then move to darker colors. And as I get darker, I'm going to become more sparing with it, so there'll be splotches of it within the lighter color rust to kind of indicate older rust. And then I'll do a similar technique on the electrical junction box, electric meters, and the conduit. as well as the ladder and the downspout. And with my darkest rust color, I just want to kind of dab it on the model in places. The last thing we want to do some weathering on is the roof. I'm going to use again the light gray to kind of fade this roof a little bit more in places. This will also help highlight the seams of the simulated rolled roof that was on here. We'll also add a little bit of rust in here that's on the sponge, and that's fine because there'll be rust will have streaked off of the vent pipes that are up here and other things that may have been left on the roof over time, tools and whatnot. A little bit of dark black dabbed along some of the seams will help them show up a little bit more. And by lightly running them up, we can highlight that as well along the edges. And the last thing I want to do is add some soot to the tops of the chimneys using black. It also brings out the depths of the pipes, flue pipes in the chimneys to really make this show up nice. I hope you've enjoyed this series. I will leave a link to parts 1, 2, and 3 to the playlist in the description below. If you have liked this, if you found useful items in here, please make sure you subscribe for more, and also give this a thumbs up, and I'd love to hear your comments and what you think. Thank you, and have a nice day.